The Premier League have referred Everton to an independent commission of what they believe are very serious breaches of the financial rules, and they now face the very real threat of a points deduction. Hello there everybody, yes I am Adam Cleary, and just to cut through all the really big words in that headline, Everton are potentially quite f***ed. Now I know what you're thinking, you hear stuff about financial regulations and rule breaches all the time and nothing ever really comes of it. So is this story different? Are they really facing the possibility of a catastrophic points deduction? And to the first question, yes definitely, and to the second, well, maybe. Now, what you need to know about this story is that the Premier League has these rules in place for profitability and sustainability. They're supposed to stop teams spending above their means and getting an unfair advantage, but what they're really there for is to stop teams going absolutely mad and going bankrupt. And what happens if a team breaches these regulations is that the Premier League is supposed to give them a little fine or possibly a transfer ban or maybe even a points deduction, but what they tend to do is just ruffle them on the head a bit and go, hey, what do we tell you, eh? What you like? Just go on, just don't do it again, eh? I'm watching you. But what makes this story so much different is that the Premier League has already faced the threat of legal action from other clubs over Everton's spending. If you cast your mind all the way back to last season, there was that three-way relegation battle between Everton, Burnley and Leeds. Everton got themselves safe with a game in hand, and the other two teams wrote to the Premier League and said, look, can you have a look at Everton's books, please? Because we're not convinced they're playing by the rules here, and we are, and one of us is now going to go down as a result. And so it was. Burnley got relegated on the last day of the season, Everton were safe, and the Premier League got back to the two clubs and said, hey, look, guys, that's a serious accusation that we're throwing around, okay? We have looked at Everton's books thoroughly. We've worked with that club closely, and we can assure you they have played by the rules. Now, I don't want to hear any more of this out of you two. And the two clubs went, okay, Dad, sorry, Dad. Which is what makes this development this morning so serious, because the Premier League are effectively admitting, we might have got that one slightly wrong, so we're referring it to an independent commission who are not anything to do with the Premier League who will make that assessment. But this is all a moot point if Everton aren't found guilty of it, so the question is, well, did they breach the financial regulations? And quick look at the numbers, and whoo! Okay, the headline is you're only allowed to technically lose £5 million a season, but you're allowed to put some equity into that, so it's £35 million. In reality, so over a 3-year period, you're allowed to lose 105 million. And if I may be so bold as to borrow this excellent graph from the Swiss Ramble last year, who you should absolutely be following on Twitter, by the way, if we just go all the way down to the bottom, oh my God. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you there will notice that a lot of teams have gone over that £105 million threshold. That's because you're allowed deductibles. You're allowed to put money into your women's team, into your infrastructure, into community projects, etc., etc. There are things you can claim don't count towards this. Now, yes, they're looking at getting a new stadium. They have invested heavily in their women's team. There are things they can definitely write off, but again, going back to the Swiss Ramble's incredible breakdown of this, that still puts them at a loss of 185 million, some 80 million over what they're allowed to spend. Now, full disclosure here, I'm not a financial expert by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, I spent £80 on a pedal bin earlier in the year. That's how good I am with money. It will be up to the independent commission to decide whether this very glaring thing is in fact actually a breach of the regulations. At the time of recording, they are only 2 points above the relegation zone, with West Ham in 18th having 2 games in hand. Any points deduction, no matter how small, you would imagine would be absolutely fatal for their chances of staying in the league. And given the severity of the alleged breach, plus the fact it's potentially legal action from another club, you would imagine if they are found guilty, the punishment will be severe. But, and here is the saving grace for any Everton fans who've somehow made it this far in the video, these things tend to take a while to happen. They have not announced a time frame for it yet, so any punishments, any sanctions are unlikely to be this season. Not impossible, but unlikely. So, did Everton breach the Premier League's financial regulations? Probably. Are they going to be docked points? Also probably. Is that going to be this season? Probably not. Anyway, let us know what you made of this all in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to 442. It's a party every goddamn day. I'm Adam Cleary, and I will see you later. Bye.